In this session, we'll be discussing the concept called as research report. So, in the research process steps, this will be the final step done by the researcher, that is preparation of a research report. So, the final and the very important step in a research study is to write a report. The research report is a means for communicating our research experience to others and adding them to fund of knowledge. The meaning of research report says a research report is a qualitative statement of the research process and its results. It narrates the problem studied, methods used for studying it, and the findings and conclusion of the study. So this is the meaning of a research report. So now let us try to understand what are the essentials of a good research report. The first point here is simple language. A good report has to be written in a simple and understandable language. A report should be so simple, it should be self-explanatory. The language of the report should not be influenced by the writer's emotions or goals. Next point is conciseness. A good report should be concise, but it doesn't mean that a report can never be long. A good report has to transmit maximum information with minimum words. Next point is grammatical accuracy. Any faulty construction of a statements that you have made, it gives a different meaning to the reader's mind, and sometimes it may become confusing. A good report is free from errors. It should be free from all types of grammatical errors. Next one is unbiased recommendations. Whatever the recommendation made by the researcher at the end of the report, there must be impartial, because as it makes an effect on the reader mind, there should have some kind of logical conclusion for investigating and analysis. So that is the point which explains unbiased recommendation. Next one is clarity. Report should make its purpose clear, define its source, state its findings, and finally make necessary recommendation. A good report is absolutely clear. A report must be clear to understand for making a communication success. Next point is attractive presentation. Presentation of a report is also an important factor to be considered by the researcher, where a good report provides a catchy, a smart look, creates or draws the attention of the reader. Structure, content, the language used, the presentation style of a good report should be attractive to make clear impression in the minds of the reader. Next point is reader orientation. While drafting any report, it is necessary to keep in mind about the person who is going to read it. That's why a good report is always reader oriented. Reader knowledge and level of understanding should be considered by the writer of the report. Next point is relevancy. The facts presented in the report should not only be accurate, but also at the same time relevant, and irrelevant fact make a report confusing and likely to misleading to make a proper decision. Next point is accuracy of facts. Information contained in the report must be based on the accurate facts. Since the decisions are taken on the basis of report information and inaccurate information, or statistics will lead to a wrong decision. It will hamper to achieve the organizational goals. So, in a research report, accuracy is very important. Next and the last point here we need to understand is precision. A reporter has to be very clear about the exact and definite purpose of writing the report, his investigation, analysis, recommendations. Precision of a report make it valuable document for the best usage. So to conclude, I can say here, these are the essentials of a good research report. It can also be called as the factors, features, or characteristics that makes a good research report to be very effective and fruitful. A reporter who making the report always should be careful about those factors to make his or her report a good one when compared to others. So now we have discussed where the meaning of a research report, what are the various essentials of a good research report should contain. And now we'll go for the types of research report. In types of research report, basically the first one we have is technical report, where the other name of this technical report can also be called as a thesis. This is a comprehensive full report of the research process and outcomes. It is primarily, this type of report is primarily meant for the academic community. When I say academic community, it can be the scientists, the researchers, discipline and other researchers. It is a formal long report covering all the aspects of the research process. When I say all the aspects of the research process, right from problem studied, objective study, methods, techniques used, detailed account of sampling, other procedures, sources of data, tools for collection of data, methods of analysis, findings, suggestions. So this technical report contains each and every content of the research process conducted by the researcher. So basically this report is useful for the academic community. So once you're clear with this technical report, we'll just move to the next type of report, that is popular report. This type of report is designed for the audience of executive or administrators and other non-technical users. The reader is less concerned with the methodological details, like what is the procedure that he has followed, but here the reader, he is just interested in studying quickly the major findings and conclusion. He is interested in applying the findings and decision. So in this report, it should be very clear, brief, straightforward. Complicated statistical techniques, tables need not be used. Instead, pictorial devices may be extensively used. So here one thing we need to understand, these popular reports is used only for the selected audience. These audience are least bothered about the research process involved, like what is the statement of problem, what is the objective, what are the methods of data collection. They are least bothered about this research process. They directly jump into what is the findings and what is the results, what is the conclusion that a researcher is drawing. So once you're clear with that, we'll next go for the interim report. So basically interim in our field of commerce, interim means what? In the middle of the year. So that is called as interim report. When there is a long time gap between a data collection and the presentation of the results, in case of sponsored project, the study may lose its significance and usefulness, and the sponsor may also lose the interest. So one of the most effective way to avoid such eventualities to present an interim report. So what is this statement is trying to explain us? Interim report means where this report is released at the middle of, it is a time gap between data collection period and the presentation of the report. If this time gap is more, where a researcher provides an interim report so that it will be useful for both the researcher and the audience of this interim report, they'll never lose their interest and they will try to get some information about what the research process is going on. So that is all about I wanted to say about interim report. Next one is the summary report. A summary report is generally prepared for the consumption of the lay audience. The example would be like newspaper where the general public are interested. Next type of report is research abstract. So when I say research abstract, this is a short summary of the technical report. So in the first report we had discussed in detail procedure involved by a researcher in his research process. So when we concise it or when we precise that technical report. It can be called as a research abstract. A research abstract is a short summary of the technical report. It is usually prepared by the doctoral students, this research abstract. Next one is a research article. This is designed for the publication in a professional journals. If a study has two or more aspects that can be discussed independently, it may be advisable to write separate articles than to crowd too many things into a single article. So research article here, so basically again these types of research article can be prepared by the doctoral students or whoever are there into the field of research. Where when I say article, we have various varieties of articles. It can be conceptual article, it can be an empirical paper, it can be a descriptive paper, it can be many other types of articles. So where the researcher writes the article. So these are the various types of report that we have discussed. So in this session we got a clear idea about what is the meaning of a report, what are the essentials of a good research report should contain, and next we have discussed with the types of research report. And in that we have discussed what is technical report, what is a popular report, what is an interior report, what is a summary report, followed by research abstract and research article. Thank you.